Hey guys, I'd like to tell you a little story about how in 2011 I was scammed out of over $4,000 on my taxes, and it was a terrible experience. And I want to make sure that you guys avoid this pitfall because a few of my buddies fell into the exact same trap and lost money as well. So first, check out the cool new Hawaiian shirt that I got for $3 while garage sailing today. And second, click the little subscribe button and the little bell so you get notified about new videos, because I would hate for you to miss content and get scammed out of $4 grand like I did. Okay, so in 2011, it was getting ready for tax time and I still knew nothing about taxes. This is at a time when I used taxslayer.com and did my taxes for free. And I got told by some buddies that maybe it was better to do it through a qualified tax professional, and they were right. Problem is that I didn't go through a real qualified tax professional. I went through a qualified tax professional who did me dirty. So check this out. There was this guy, apparently he was a Marine on Pendleton, who was going around to my friends and he was doing their taxes for them. And he was doing it for dirt cheap, right? Like super affordable, good job, super legit, whatever. And he was offering like a $20 referral fee. So, you know, if I brought a friend to him to do taxes, he'd give me 20 bucks. Not a big deal, normal business strategy. I met with this guy, we did my taxes, everything was great, right? I didn't have much to claim at the time because I was still a single Marine, no investments, no nothing worth dealing with, and I didn't know any better. So I meet with this guy, I go through all the taxes, no harm, no foul, whatever. A few weeks later, he calls me and he sends me over a copy of my tax return to review it and tells me what I got back. The number I got back looked normal. The amount of, everything looked good, right? No big deal. No red flags. So I signed it. I'm like, all right, cool, no worries. So I sign it, I send it back to him, and that's it. I got my tax return. No big deal. It was great. And then in 2014, the IRS came a-knocking and informed me that I owed them like $4,000 or $5,000. I tried to look up the exact amount, but I guess I've since closed the bank account I used to pay it, so I can't find the exact dollar amount I paid, but it was over $4 grand. And I was like, okay, you know, what the hell, right? I don't know your shit. I do my taxes every year. And they sent me more stuff, and I said this, and they said this, and whatever. So I go to meet with a certified public accountant, a CPA. And he does me a favor, and he didn't charge me, which is great. And he called the IRS with me, and we sat through the wait period, and, you know, I explained my story, whatever. And by the end of the phone call, I vividly remember asking the IRS lady, I'll explain what happened in a minute. I vividly remember saying, so you're telling me that the only way I'm going to get my money back is by taking the guy who did my taxes and putting him at gunpoint? And she basically said, I can't answer that question, but yeah, the only way you're getting your money is through him. Needless to say, not exciting. And the best part is, after I paid everything, the interest check came in, and I owed him like another $800 on top, because, you know, the IRS is going to get their interest whether it's my fault or not, because there's no way to prove it wasn't. So what happened was this. He sent me my return. I sent it back to him, signed. He then went in and changed stuff. And I don't know if he was able to change it and just send it in because he already had my signature, or if he just forged my signature. Either way, he changed stuff and sent it in. So what did he change? He basically claimed the maximum amount of credit, tax credit, that you can for education. I can't remember what it is. It's like $2,500 or something. So he claimed the full amount that he could claim as a deduction for your education credit. Well, there's a couple problems with this. Number one, I hadn't gone to school at all that year, so I hadn't taken any college classes at all. Number two, even if I had taken college classes, I'm an active duty Marine, so I would have had tuition assistance and my schooling would have been paid unless I spent over $4,800 or whatever the credit amount is on school. And again, I didn't. So I had literally not paid a cent for college throughout the entire year. And number three, again, I didn't do college, right? So there was no reason for me to claim education credit. And given that my previous years had had no education credit and my future years had no education credit, because again, all my school has been paid for, I have never paid a cent on school since joining the military, and I have an associate's degree, which isn't anything amazing, but it's something. So the IRS saw that I'd never paid or claimed education, and I'd never claimed education, but I claimed the full amount here, and they audited it. And when they audited it, they realized, well, hey, this schmuck never went to school, so we know he owes us some money. So this guy basically, he claimed the full amount, and what he did was he split the checks so that the amount that he had talked over with me, that full deposit amount was a check written to me, right? So I got my check, it matched, I was happy, I got my money. The education credit, that amount of money, he had written a check to a different bank, you know, for me, but for him. And so that check, I guess, went to him. And here's the biggest problem is he never sent me a copy of the final for my tax return. And the one that he had sent me, he you know, it was a paper copy. It wasn't email. And I didn't make a copy, I guess. I don't know. I can't find it anywhere. So I don't know this guy's name. I don't know this guy's number. I don't know where he lives anymore, somewhere in Southern California if he's still there. And I mean, he got like $2 grand, $3 grand, $4 grand courtesy of me. And then I got to pay the IRS back. It's probably the worst scam I've ever fallen for. So needless to say, I have always done my taxes through a qualified professional in a business now. I will never trust an individual again like that. But I also know that I always need a copy of everything and that I just absolutely double check your tax return, even if, you know, everything seems legit. But the final piece of advice I can give you here on taxes to avoid getting scammed, it's not so much to avoid getting scammed by someone else, it's more to avoid scamming yourself. So if you have investments or, you know, you buy and sell a house or whatever, and you have any kind of large taxable issue or tax deduction, go to a qualified CPA, a certified public accountant, and get your taxes done professionally and not by the free guys, but by someone you're gonna have to pay a little bit about or pay a little money to get it done in such a way that you're gonna get the right amount of money back and you're gonna find all these extra loopholes. So the two best ways to avoid getting scammed with your taxes is A, go to a legit person and verify everything, and B, have a CPA look at it if you have anything other than just a W-2 to put on your taxes so that you're not scamming yourself out of those extra dollars. Thanks, guys. This has been my story about how I got scammed out of a lot of money, and I hope that it helps you avoid getting scammed out of a lot of money as well. Have a great day.